Welcome back to Schemes Declassified, where we uncover the real aircraft and real stories behind the schemes that inspired Airfix kits. In March 1937, the Bristol Blenheim Mk.I entered RAF service with No. 114 Squadron at RAF Wyton, replacing the Hawker Hind biplane. What arrived on that Cambridgeshire airfield was not just a new bomber, but a glimpse of the future. Over 100 miles per hour, faster than the aircraft it replaced, the Blenheim was, at that moment, the fastest light or medium bomber in the world. So advanced was its performance that the Blenheim became the benchmark. From this point on, every new fighter design would be judged against a simple requirement. It had to be able to catch and defeat a Blenheim. Ironically, that distinction would eventually work against it. Only a few years earlier, in 1935, the Blenheim had been a record-breaking aircraft, but aviation technology moved at breathtaking speed. By the time war came in 1939, this same aircraft that had redefined RAF capability was already being overtaken by a new generation of fighters. Despite this, the Blenheim was one of the most important aircraft in the RAF's rapid modernisation during the tense years leading up to war. It played a crucial role not just in training aircrews for combat, but in quietly preparing Britain's defences. Blenheim crews flew countless sorties that unknowingly helped test and refine the Chain Home Radar Network and the Royal Observer Corps, forming the backbone of Britain's ground-controlled interception system. These flights ensured that when enemy raids crossed the coast and moved inland, Britain could track them in real time. At the outbreak of the Second World War, the RAF had more Bristol Blenheims in service than any other aircraft type, equipping both bomber and fighter squadrons. Just 63 minutes after Britain declared war, a Blenheim of No. 139 Squadron took off from RAF Wyton on a reconnaissance mission, becoming the first RAF aircraft to cross the German coast in World War II. Following day, Blenheims from No. 107 and 110 Squadrons, alongside Vickers Wellingtons, attacked shipping at Wilhelmshaven. Forced to approach from inland to avoid civilian casualties, the formation suffered heavily. 5 Blenheims and 3 Wellingtons were shot down, marking the RAF's first aircraft losses of the war. Throughout the early months of the conflict, Blenheim crews bore the brunt of strike operations from Britain and France with the Advanced Air Striking Force and British Expeditionary Force. Lightly armed and steadily gaining weight as military equipment was added, the aircraft struggled against modern Luftwaffe fighters. Operations over the North Sea during the Norwegian campaign were particularly unforgiving. Crews faced vast distances, appalling weather, and serviceability issues. Remarkably, despite operating over open ocean, Blenheim crews flew without life vests or rafts, yet continued mission after mission. Available in large numbers, the Blenheim was also adapted into the Mk.IF long-range heavy fighter. Fighter Command had 7 squadrons of Blenheim fighters prior to the Battle of Britain, and at its peak would operate 19 squadrons equipped with the type. On the 28th of November 1939, Blenheim struck first yet again, carrying out Fighter Command's first attack against German territory, when aircraft from No. 25 and 601 squadrons attacked the seaplane base at Borkum. Another milestone followed in March 1940, when a Blenheim of No. 82 Squadron, flown by Squadron Leader Miles V. de Lapp, sank U-boat U-31. This was the first submarine destroyed by a single aircraft acting alone, unaided by naval forces. By the time of the Battle of Britain, the Blenheim's limitation as a daylight fighter were clear. Heavy losses forced its withdrawal from daytime operations, mirroring the Luftwaffe's own experience with the Bf 110. Crews were retained for night fighting, laying the foundations for the later successes of aircraft like the Beaufighter and the Mosquito. With over 4,400 built, the Blenheim served in every major theatre of war. From Europe to North Africa and the Mediterranean, it was not glamorous, but it was indispensable. The Bristol Blenheim has been a favourite among Airfix modders since its first 72nd scale appearance in 1968, many remembering the light blue plastic and Roy Cross artwork showing a Free French Blenheim on coastal operations. That original kit, though beloved, was very much of its time, In 2014, the Blenheim was comprehensively retooled. Continued popularity has since led to a 48th scale release as well. Displayed alongside Spitfires, Hurricanes, Hampdens and Wellingtons, the Blenheim finally receives the recognition it deserves. A scheme is a Bristol Blenheim Mk.IF K7 159 YXN from number 54 Operational Training Unit, RAF Church Fenton, December 1940. This striking all-black night fighter scheme represents an aircraft used to train the crews who would fight the Blitz in darkness. Assigned to number 54 Operational Training Unit at RAF Church Fenton, Blenheim crews flew intensive training sorties that quietly helped perfect radar control, airborne interception tactics and coordination with ground controllers. Though crews were often told they were assisting fighter tactics development, they were in fact validating Britain's integrated air defence system. Church Fenton's location allowed effective training with minimal Luftwaffe interference, and it was here that early, unreliable airborne interception radar systems were tested and refined. Despite their limitations, it was a Blenheim night fighter that achieved the RAF's first radar-assisted night victory, a vital stepping stone in Britain's night defence. Scheme B is a Bristol Blenheim Mk.IF L8 679 BQ0 from number 600 City of London Squadron, RAF Manston, August 1940. Number 600 Squadron was one of 7 Blenheim fighter units at the outbreak of war. Initially classified as day fighters, these aircraft quickly became dual-role day and night units. With Britain lacking a purpose-built heavy fighter, the Blenheim Mk.IF filled this gap. Its extended range made it ideal for long coastal patrols, protecting shipping during the phony war. The Mk.IF differed from bomber versions through the addition of a ventral gun pack, housing 4 303 machine guns. Built by the Southern Railway Workshops at Ashford and retained both the wing-mounted Browning and dorsal Vickers K gun. On the 10th of May 1940, 6 Mk.IFs from number 600 Squadron attacked Walhaven. German defences shot down 5 of the 6 aircraft, a loss that led to the near-immediate withdrawal of Blenheim fighters from daylight operations. Though deemed unsuitable for day combat, Blenheim crews continued to serve wherever they were needed, often at great personal cost. The Bristol Blenheim may not always receive the recognition of its fighter contemporaries, but few aircraft contributed more to Britain's survival in the early years of the Second World War. If you've enjoyed this deep dive into the schemes and stories behind the Blenheim, make sure to subscribe for more episodes of Schemes Declassified, where we uncover the history behind the aircraft that inspired your next build. And do let us know in the comments which RAF classic should be declassified next. We'll see you next time.